Welcome back to Jack Chaucer Storyteller. Got Nikki White Polar Extremes. Chapter 21 is called Card Trick. Nikki's Perspective, still Valentine's Day 2020. I hate the way the bridge shuffles the deck like we're a bunch of playing cards. I also hate the way they switch out who's dealing. It used to be Virgil trying to control me, and Adam and Bill. Then it was David. Then it was Peter, who also flipped the Thomas card over on the table just to screw with me. Now it's Willem's turn as dealer, with an assist from Ina and the cold, isolating bitch that is Antarctica. So what does he do? Just as I've emotionally let myself move on from Bill and begin a previously unthinkable healing process with Thomas, Willem shuffles the deck again and flies in three wild cards from McMurdo. Bill and Adam, plus the enforcer, Roy. All wearing green parkas. My frozen jaw dropped. My heart sped and swerved. Bill and me and Sam, Adam and Thomas, together for a South Pole winter, with no way out until late October, and very soon, no sun. I tried to block all that out as I hugged Bill with tears in my eyes. He seemed just as surprised to see me. "Nicky Blue," he shouted, kissing my frozen lips and whirling me around. "I can't believe this." I kissed him back, but it wasn't the same. It would never be the same. On Valentine's Day, no less, he went on. "Who says the bridge is heartless?" "I do," I said, no stutter from the cold. His huge smile faded enough. He knew I was serious. "What's wrong? What have they done to you?" he asked as Adam and Roy approached. "Made me get rescued twice by the man who shot me, and then brought back my once presumed dead boyfriend for the second time after I had given up on him," I said. While Bill stood there stunned, I hugged Adam, who I hadn't seen since Christmas 2018. That was the night he ruined my girls' night out with my friend Candace by showing up at a Chili's unannounced and having a confrontation with my equally unannounced ex-boyfriend Derek. How small and far away those troubles seemed now. "Good to see you again, Nikki," he said, his brown eyes still wanting me too much to really be friends. "Good to see you alive, Adam," I said, recalling my tense phone conversation with him from my hospital bed in Miami. Virgil controlled him as a captive and toyed with me about his fate, but it was Adam who foolishly had failed to heed my warning before all of that happened. "If only you had listened to me and gotten the hell out of Florida when you had the chance." He nodded thoughtfully before adding, "Florida looks pretty good right about now." "You've got a point there," I said, wincing as I noticed Thomas approaching from the flag lines. Adam followed my line of vision, quickly steeling himself for his first run-in with his former friend and former accomplice outside of a courtroom since that September night in 2014, when Thomas shot us both on the campus of our New Hampshire high school. "Nobody warned me he would be here until after we took off," Adam growled. "I know the feeling, being blindsided by the return of Thomas," I said. "But he's actually been trying to change since they shipped us down here together." Adam shook his head, his eyes still fixed on Thomas. I owe him one for shooting us and another one for trying to have two guys beat me up in prison last summer." I put my hand on Adam's parka-covered arm. "Just wait a second. Don't make it any worse for yourself with the bridge." Then Willem seemingly appeared out of nowhere from the mob of green parkas nearby, and Roy backed him up with his monstrous presence. I retreated a step and shuffled closer to Bill, who looked at me with understandable cluelessness. "This will be a new start for you both," Willem declared, "or it will be the end for you both." Thomas slowly stepped within striking distance of Adam and lowered his scarves. Adam looked ready to pounce if needed. He used to be much bigger, but Thomas had filled out quite a bit since they last saw each other. All of our eyes were on the two of them as Thomas, silently and shockingly, raised his gloved hand toward Adam. Adam thought about it for a long, icy moment, but at last his glove ascended to meet the one Thomas offered, and they shook. Yet another card trick by the bridge. Less than an hour later, the last Hercules roared down the skiway and took off, leaving us stranded at the South Pole for at least the next 8 months. Gonna be scary now. These characters all bunched together and no way out. That's the end of chapter 1. We'll be back with 22.